What's up guys, welcome back. In today's video we have an interesting new trend happening in Premier Cup for Ultra League, Pokemon Go madness. It's electricity is starting to shock the meta. Oh my god, this is like so corny. But anyways, I think probably Zionic had something to do with it because, you know, he's probably the biggest PvP YouTuber, so shout out to him. He's an awesome guy, and he showcased a battler. I think his name he goes by Jonkus, and he was using a electric type in the lead, and then he had a Gallade and Venusaur for support for any of the Pokemon that would counter it, mainly Swampert. Swampert's like probably the most popular Pokemon in the meta that can counter the Magnezone because it resists the electric type. So anyways, have a look at this chart. This was only a day after the last video you saw, and you can see here Ampharos was the most popular lead of the 15th, which is last night, Saturday night. We had Ampharos as the number one 4 times. We ran into that one, and I think that was because a lot of people might not have had a Magnezone ready to go for Go Battle League, so they probably were using Ampharos as a substitute. But we saw Magnezone 3 times, and in fact we saw the Magnezone Gallade Venusaur team 3 times. So you're going to see how I handle that in today's video. And in fact, this is going to be focused just on those electric leads. And you can also see their Electivire was used once. So between those 3, 8 out of the 25 were electric leads. And so you're going to see how I handle that in today's video. So you can see the other leads. Some more interesting notes. Dragonite only seen once. No Lapras, no Gyarados at all in these leads. And so the water has definitely taken more of a backseat in the kind of current meta of, you know, the Ultra League. So let's get into the battles and see how we handle this this team, or like this kind of, you know, this meta. We have Venusaur as our lead, and then we have Poliwrath as our safe switch in case we run into like a flyer or like a Dragonite mainly. So we'll auto switch into Poliwrath, and then we have Charizard as our closer. So let's just see how we handle it, and let's get into it. Alright, so first battler, Republic of China. They made me chuckle a little bit. But yeah, so Magnezone lead, and this player, actually, shout out to this player. I think he played this team very, very well. Out of the 3 times I ran into this exact team, I feel like this opponent played it the best. So they charged up to 2 wild charges, and then they switched out. So that was probably the best play. He opted not to throw one at me. Just charge, store up that energy, and then get out. Goes into the Venusaur, but which gives me the advantage because I can come in with Charizard. Now my strategy against a Venusaur is to tank 1 Sludge Bomb and then just farm it down. And you could throw 1 Dragon Claw as well. So basically, you could throw. And this was also my first time playing this team, so I gotten a little bit better with the Charizard matchup. Basically, I will throw 1, if it's like the Venusaur is like full health, I'll throw 1 Dragon Claw, shield once, and then farm down. That's usually my strategy. So now the Wild Charge comes right at us, knocks out our Charizard. I'm saving my shield, so I decided to come back in with Venusaur because we resist those electric attacks. And I throw a Frenzy Plant to get a shield. He switches out again. Very, very solid play. So now resets the debuff. Comes in with Gallade, which is very detrimental to both of our remaining Pokemon. So this is a very tough team for me to beat, even though we win the lead, basically. Like, technically we win the lead because we resist electricity, but Gallade just completely hurts the rest of our team. So it's really tough to beat this team. We have a shield advantage, and we're going, we tie, we CMP tie. And so now we are forced to burn our last shield. Throw us close combat. I can't even farm it down because those confusions are going to melt us. And so I have to throw my Frenzy Plant. And now Magnezone can come in with energy and finish us off. So we lose their first encounter with this Jonkus team. And so it's tough. It's not an easy team to play. Even though you win the lead, it's not easy. So let's see how we do it again. This opponent decides to switch out right away, giving me switch advantage, obviously, and they don't store any energy on their Magnezone. So I think that was not the most optimal play, because you're going to see how I handle it this time around. We go for the Dragon Claw, So you see it doesn't do a lot of damage, but there's just enough damage that I need for me to farm up without having to run into another sludge bomb, like a third sludge bomb. So, you know, I'll shield once, I'll tank the second one, and then I have plenty of energy, I still have a shield, and now I can try to go for the nuke move on Gallade. If they don't shield, it's going to be really detrimental, but they decide to shield, but I still have energy, so I'm going to go for a Dragon Claw. And Gallade does not have a high defense stat, so this will still do a pretty good chunk of damage for it only being Dragon Claw, which we don't get stab on. So yeah, so now we come in with Venusaur, and we have to shield this just in case it's like a Synchronoise that would like KO us from here. But he switches out after the close combat, so I come in with Poliwrath, and this is a really good matchup for us. If I can land this Dynamic Punch, we land it, we knock out the Magnezone. And now I have a little bit of energy, so I'm going to go for the Ice Punch, and Gallade will have to shield here. And then, I mean, they could probably farm up, but ooh, we almost get to an Ice Punch. That would have been definitely game. But hopefully, they don't have close combat, or they don't have Synchronoise, I don't think. So they throw close combat, which we resist. So now we can throw a Frenzy Plant, and we knock out the Gallade. So we win the second encounter. This was both in the first set. Back to back, the second game and the third game, I ran into that exact team. So I was like, okay, something is up here. Electricity is making a very, very big surge in popularity. Now this was the very last game of the set, literally battle number 25. Ran into the team again, so let's see how this opponent plays it. So for those of you who want to run this team, you can kind of see different ways to play it. This person throws a Mirror Shot bait, but I decide not to shield it because I know I'm resistant to, even if it was a Wild Charge, I would resist it, and so it kind of worked out for me because their bait was not successful in getting a shield. Okay, so now I decided to shield this time, and it was a good shield because they threw the Wild Charge. Then they switch out. I come in with my Charizard, and because I can't really switch into Poliwrath, it would just get destroyed by the confusions. So I'm going for the Dragon Claw this time as soon as I charge it up, just to put pressure on this person. And so now, if this is a Leaf Blade, it won't KO us, but it's a close combat, so it does KO. However, their defense is lowered, and the Gallade is low enough health that I can knock it down. I can farm it down with my Venusaur. It's close, but we just are able to farm it down. So you can see, like, man, 3 different times we're playing this team. It's such a different like scenario being played out every single time. We knock out the Magnezone with the Frenzy Plant, and unfortunately we don't have... Oh wait, we do have our Charizard right there. Oh no, we don't. We have Poliwrath, so we have to deal with this Venusaur with our Poliwrath, but this is not looking good. That Venusaur had a ton of energy, and I quit. Okay, so yeah, so that time we also did not win. So you can see how tough this team was to play. I only beat it once out of the 3 times. So I was 1 and 2. Now we're going to look at the Ampharos lead. Now the good thing about Ampharos is it does not have Wild Charge. It's not that much of a threat. So if they throw Focus Blast, you resist it. If they throw Thunder Punch, you resist it. Or even Thunder, you resist it. The only move that's neutral is Dragon Pulse. So you do got to watch out for Dragon Pulse. But I don't think it's that common of a move. I've run into the Focus Blast, like Thunder Punch variant more often. So it's a little bit easier to handle. So you can see here, I tanked the Sludge Bomb. At this point I'm getting a little bit better with this matchup. And so now I'm just going to go for Dragon Claw. Again, Ampharos is not that tanky of a Pokemon, same with Magnezone. And so it is easy to kind of draw those shields out by just doing Dragon Claws. Alright, so we're going to, yeah, those Volt Switches will do super effective damage because they're electric. But again, watch this. I'm going to just tank whatever it has. It's a Focus Blast. It only does like 40% damage despite being a huge hitting move. They also did nerf Focus Blast. I think they lowered the damage by like 10. So yeah, that in conjunction with it coming from an Ampharos didn't do hardly that much damage to our Venusaur. So now they switch out and we come in with Poliwrath. This is a very, very good matchup for us. Like, I believe Ice and Water, they're both resisted, so really the only move it could have is like Skull Bash that would kind of pose a threat to us, but they don't have it. And so we're going to farm up a bunch of extra energy, take advantage of the fact that we resist these moves, and then I can actually finish it off with an Ice Punch from here. We're within Ice Punch range. So I go for the Ice Punch, and I have a ton of energy. We're in a really, really good spot here. Then they switch out. So I throw the Dynamic Punch, which will do no more damage to this Ampharos. It knocks it out, and then Lapras comes back in, and they quit. So far we're doing pretty well. We're 2-2 against these electric leads. And let's see, I think I played this player the next day as well. I recognize that name. So they lead Ampharos, they switch into a Gyarados, and I decide to come in with Poliwrath. I could have stayed in with Venusaur because Frenzy Plants do more than 50% damage. However, I don't want to leave my Poliwrath to be lined up with the Ampharos because Ampharos does super effective damage, and so I'm going to take advantage of my switch advantage and put Poliwrath in here so that I can line up my Venusaur with the Ampharos. So I just think it's more of a safe play, and the Ice Punches do neutral damage, but we can definitely hold our own against this. Like you can see the Aqua Tails do no damage. We resist the crunch damage, and so we don't have that much to worry about against, although I have been seeing some outraged Gyaradoses lately. But yeah, they quit. They throw a Venusaur, we line it up with our Charizard, and yeah, they quit because there's really not much they could do from there. Okay, Ampharos lead again. Let's see what this person does. They switch out into a Dragonite this time. So now, again, I switch into Poliwrath because the ice moves are double super effective. And so if I throw this and I land it, look how much damage it does. And it's just an Ice Punch, guys. It's just an Ice Punch. Does huge, massive damage to the Dragonite, and I shield the Outrage, so really, really good shield on our part. A lot of people run Spice moves on their switch-ins because it helps them get out of trouble. So if you see a Dragonite as a switch-in, kind of expect it to have some spicy moves, okay? Outrage, most likely. Okay, so yeah, they come back in. I'm not going to burn any shields. This is kind of a waste to burn shields at this point. My Poliwrath did its job at getting rid of its safe switch, and so now I'm going to, unfortunately, it's going to farm up a ton of energy, but my Venusaur has a ton of health, so I can safely tank pretty much any charge move it has, even Dragon Pulse. So Thunder, that did like maybe 30% damage, not that much. So we're going to go ahead and tank this Thunder Punch, and so that one's running just electric moves. That's perfect. So if they come in with Venusaur, I can throw in a Sludge Bomb and then switch into you-know-who, the Fire Flyer, Charizard, and I can afford to tank this, and I should be able to farm down from here, but I decided to shield anyways, and they quit. So you can see that happens a lot against an Ampharos lead if you lead Venusaur, because Ampharos is just not as powerful as Magnezone. So last match, and then we're going to wrap it up. Ampharos lead, they auto switch again into Venusaur, we go into Charizard, so we're kind of going into autopilot. I hope this match wasn't exactly the same, but this is a different match. But I'm going to go Dragon Claw again. I'm going to tank this first one or shield it. It looks like I decide to shield it. I might have been able to tank this one and then maybe gone for the farm down. But oh no, I would have had to shield anyway. So yeah, that Venusaur was like storing up extra energy. So you can see there, we have plenty of health. We farm it up. We have a Blast Burn ready to go. And what are they going to come in with? They're going to come in with their own Charizard. So now I'm going to try to go for the double Dragon Claw. See if I can get a shield. And I do get a shield, so that was awesome. Because Blast Burn does do a lot of damage to another Charizard. Even though it's like resisted technically. It just does a big chunk of damage because Charizard is also kind of squishy. So we are going to let this take us down, and then we can come in with Poliwrath. We resist the fire moves. So Blast Burn does like a decent chunk, but it's less than 50%. And so I'm not too worried about it. I can just keep throwing Ice Punches. They switch into Ampharos. So we switch back into Venusaur. And this is going to be looking pretty good for us. It looks like we beat every single Ampharos team. So definitely love seeing Ampharos in the lead. Because look at that, I shield the Focus Blast just because I had a shield. I figured why not, and I could farm this up from here. If they throw a Thunder move, doesn't matter. Thunder Punch, yep, just gonna farm it. And then we have a ton of energy for their Charizard. I can actually go double Sludge Bomb here, and this is gonna do a ton of damage. So shield, and then I could probably knock it out with a Frenzy Plant. Although if this is a Blast Burn, we're kind of screwed, but we do have Poliwrath. Alright, so it goes down. Whatever. Poliwrath has a ton of health, and this Ice Punch will knock it out. So we go 4-0 against the Ampharos teams. And so you can see there, we win 1-2 against Magnezone, 4-0 against Ampharos. And so yeah, if you do have the Dust and you do have a Magnezone, I think it works better than Ampharos, just because Wild Charge is so much more powerful. It makes your opponents guess a lot more, puts a lot of pressure, whereas Thunder and Thunder Punch from Ampharos don't do that much. Thunder obviously does a decent amount, but Thunder Punch not that much. So yeah, we're just going to leave it at that. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you guys for watching and subscribing, and thank you to my patrons for doing battles with me and doing raids with me. It's been a lot of fun talking to you guys on the Discord as well. And if you guys want to submit a battle, I have my email in the description, so you can email me there in Google Drive or WeTransfer are 2 easy ways to send files. And again, record 1 battle at a time. It just works better that way. And thank you guys again so much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.